Bit Buddies Wrap-Up.
Hi guys, welcome to the first Bit Buddies Wrap-Up. We're going to start doing this whenever we finish a game. It's going to be kind of like a review session, but it's just mostly going to be like, we're not going to give it a number or anything. We're just going to talk about what we liked.
7.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Okay.
It'll always be 7 out of 10, but we're going to talk about what we liked about it, things we didn't like about it, just so that people can hear like lots of different points of view and decide if it's something that they want to play.
And by lots, we mean specifically 3.
Yeah, but when Daniel's here, 4, and if there's less of us, 2. But,
Or 1.
possibly
The
1.
possibilities are endless.
Possibilities.
Endless up until 4.
Yes.
At that point, it stops being endless.
The possibilities are literally 4.
That's a lot of possibilities.
But, so yeah, let's start talking. Toren.
Toren.
Alan, do you want to start talking first? You did play the game for the most of it.
Yeah. I went in expecting something that was very similar to Ico, and it was very similar to Ico. I came away knowing about as much of the story as I did from that game, too, and that I knew almost nothing.
It was kind of like Ico, but I feel like it was a lot more looking for the wow factor. Like a lot more colors and magical stuff happening.
Yeah, I guess Ico was content to be, like,
It's
sort
very-
of solemn and dreary the whole time.
Yeah.
Not to be that it was ugly, but it just kind of had that effect.
like Dark Souls. It was awe-inspiring in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Most of the colors being gray, brown, and dark green.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Very like ambiguous and intriguing, like Ico.
So you said that you have an idea what was going on in the story, which I'm glad to hear because I'm not 100% grasping it.
Same
I
here.
mean, it feels like there's a lot of depth to it, but I guess on the surface, it's exactly what it looks like. People were stuck in daytime. You are a girl who could kill the dragon, and that makes it not be daytime anymore.
Yeah, but
But I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that.
I want to talk about that more towards the end.
Okay.
Yeah, because it might take a while. But Bobby, what did you think about the game?
that was pretty good overall. I like the whole grandeur, at least from the setting,
Mm-hmm.
because you certainly couldn't see the very bottom, and you really couldn't even see the very top because we never really reached the full, like the highest point of the tower. We kind of just got off. Like off to the side on a very long, stretching out platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Then I thought I don't know, I was expecting more sword upgrades. Even though
Yeah.
probably the red one, like the blood sword, was optional.
I got the feeling from looking at the trophies that there were a few like optional power-ups that we could have gotten.
For all we know, there were more.
Probably.
The game, one thing to me, bear in mind, I thought the game was great. I thought it was really good, and especially for like a first-time game company.
Mhm.
But it did feel like some people's first game, in that there were things that you just expect of modern games that didn't quite have.
Yeah.
The controls were very like floaty and laggy. There was a lot of times where you saw like people, either me or Bobby, just jump straight off the edge, and that's because like you might hit the jump button, decide that it's not jumping, and start walking somewhere else, and then as you're walking, the girl's like, "Oh, it's time to jump," and then you'll jump off the
Right.
edge.
And it
It's
felt
it,
like
it's workable. It's just something that you have to get used to, kind of old feeling controls.
on a graphical level, I really enjoyed all the like bright colors and the environments they had designed, but it felt like an HD remake of a really old game.
I can see that.
Like the
Same here.
modeling and all that
Mhm.
felt like PS2 era stuff.
For all I know, it might have been something they've been working on for a long time.
It's true, but that's
Probably.
all I'm saying is like the modeling felt very PS2 era.
Yeah. They did a good job, given like that it looks like they didn't have a huge budget to work with.
Right. It felt less like it was a style choice and more like it was just not great.
Mm-hmm.
I still enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed the game.
I want to see more games like that, just because PS1 was the console that I grew up on, but I did most of my playing on the PS2, and because of that, I just have a soft spot for like puzzle platformers, platforming adventure games where like
Yeah.
the focus is on going from place to place more so than like you fighting things.
So like that.
Stuff like Jack and Dexter, Knack. I could list a lot of games, but yeah, stuff like that.
And this game did a really good job.
Or
of that.
Ico, since I've been making the comparison.
Yeah, this game had like a really an interesting platforming mechanic with lots of like added in stuff, like all the avoiding the wind, pouring the salt, and all the crazy environments, like the fucking mirror world and heaven and all that.
I liked it. I feel like they never... It introduces a lot of mechanics that are really cool and really unique, but I feel like it never really pushes you to have to like be really good at it. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of platforming games, they introduce a mechanic and they keep running with it for a while and it gets harder and harder. This game, it was just kind of easy, I guess. Like I never felt like
kind of pleasant.
I needed to get better at the mechanic. You know,
Yeah.
I think
it was more just something to be experienced rather than like a hardcore challenging game, which is fine by me because I'm not good at games.
I don't know. This seemed like a video game that was like more spearheaded for its like art design and story.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's very unique for that or in its story.
Yeah.
I mean, games like that. I mean, for a difficulty, I mean that really should matter overall as long as you're getting something like good out of it.
Yeah.
And I thought the story, at least for the bits that I could follow, was very good.
I think it's comparable to the other game that we've been making comparisons to a lot too, which is Journey. In that, like, Journey, you never really feel like you're being pushed to like the limit of your skill. You're just kind of enjoying the ride and having some fun with the mechanics while you figure out the story. And I'd say that's about like how this game does it.
Yeah. The mechanics were pretty simple and easy to grasp, and didn't factor it into it a lot, but still, like the whole fight scene with the dragon, that still made us feel really like intense and
Yeah.
I was surprised we could actually fight the thing.
Right.
yeah, I liked it.
And I'm happy that it had like a good ending. Like it did still do the cycle will repeat thing that we knew was coming a mile away.
It changed.
Yeah, at least it wasn't like I was fully expecting it, and I said it on the first episode. I was expecting it to end with us up there on top of that lightning storm place, fight the dragon kills us, we fall down. It's like, you're a baby again. Good luck next time. And the credits roll. And it's like, oh yay, it's a cycle or whatever. But no, it didn't do that, and I like that.
Yeah. And I had said, still sort of with the art and stuff, I had said at one point that I thought the game was like trying really hard, which was mega douchey. But I sort of started to accept that Toren was just like this haven for magicians where crazy stuff happened all the time, and it was a good way for them to get like their artistic ideas out. I was just really tired that day. I really liked the game. I thought it was really cool and cute and clever.
Will it make you feel better if I was very close to editing the words hater above your picture on that video?
That would not make me feel better.
Well, I didn't do it. That's the part that's supposed to make you feel better.
Thanks.
That I didn't
guess.
do it. You're welcome.
But I did, and I do love games like this, Ico, Journey, just like artistic, cool, really story-driven games.
If anyone else knows games that like are similar to these, let us know. Yeah, more of these.
Looking back, and especially since we started off on, like we ended on the screen we started off on, I really could see the change in seasons, because where you start off when you plant the tree, that's spring. When you're at the altars to sacrifice the deer, when a lot more animals are out, that would be summer.
Mm-hmm.
As we're going up the tree and the leaves start to turn colors, or just before we could like die of like frostbite or whatever the mechanic was, all the leaves were starting to fall around us. That was fall, and we had winter near the very end, and at the twilight of from the winter to the spring, where we broke the cycle, was where we could fight our final boss, so to speak.
Yeah. So I tried to look up like a plot synopsis online, and I couldn't really find one because this game, I guess, just isn't that well known.
Right.
I found some stuff from the actual Toren website, but obviously it's not going to explain anything about the ending because it's not going to want to spoil it.
Yeah.
It just kind of explains who some of the characters are.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't go into much depth. For example, it says, Toren's magician, the wizard, was one of the builders of the tower. Although his body no longer lives, he communicates with the Moonchild through dreams and visions, telling her about stories and symbols of the lost civilization. But one that I thought was interesting...
That was weird that he was a fucking skeleton the whole time.
Yeah. But the tower, it says, is a treacherous environment filled with monsters and puzzles designed to keep the Moonchild imprisoned. That part surprised me. I didn't get the feeling that the tower was there to like stop you from doing anything.
Me neither. I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
But designed by like the game designers to keep you imprisoned. But
maybe that's what they meant.
Story
Well,
thing.
Because it doesn't seem like the tower was made to keep you out.
No one but the dragon wanted to keep you in. Unless maybe it's talking about the dragon. I don't know.
Well, it says, the dragon tried to prevent the Moonchild from gaining her freedom. This evil monster has the power to petrify anything being around it, yeah. there's not a whole lot of information to find that we don't already know, which is why I'm now looking to Colin to be the guy who knows all about the plot. So tell us the story.
Yeah.
At least what I'm thinking, and this is going to be very loose, and there will probably be something to come out that will completely destroy everything I'm thinking. But the way I see it is, they said that Solidor founded the tower, right? Founded Toren?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way I feel is he designed it to be this...
And Solidor's the sun guy, right? That we followed at the end?
Yeah. He designed it as a safe haven for mages and a place for people to study and live. It said, like, something about bountiful forests and beautiful oceans, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He designed it to be a place like that, but it seemed like people were still greedy and mean to each other, and they got all... they were still very prideful. Classic, like, human
People
condition.
don't change kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
why did they keep building it taller?
I don't know. But I don't know why they kept building it taller. I just think that...
They just wanted a tall-ass tower?
Yeah, it was just supposed to be a big, long tower.
I'm trying... What is it, the Tower of Babel? Where they tried to make a tower to the sun? Or am I thinking...
Is that what they're
To
doing?
heaven. They were trying to build a tower to heaven.
Tower to heaven.
But I don't feel like that's what was going on here. But I thought...
I don't know. Brazil is a very Catholic country, so it's possible there's some connections to it.
There was obviously some, like, heaven-hell imagery.
Yeah.
But, either
Especially
way...
near the end.
So Solidor saw what was happening in the tower, and he abandoned it, and, like, was watching from a distance, riding his horse, how we could see him from the telescope.
Yeah.
And he became, in a way that I can't explain, the moon and the sun, like, the original moon and the sun went away, and he became the sun, and, like, kept it daytime.
Maybe he always was the sun. Maybe he's just a god, and he only comes down, like, in the form of a person when he wants to.
Alright, well then something happened to the moon. Like, maybe he killed the moon. I don't know. But he's keeping it sometime, all the time, so that he can watch them in the tower. And
it's got to have something to do with the dragon, right?
The dragon appeared in Toren and started killing all the people, and that's what all those statues were, like, floating in the ocean and just, like, standing around everywhere. And Solidor didn't want to save them because they were all, corrupt and bad people, like I had said. And, like, Solidor would only come and save the tower if they could prove that they could get over themselves and become good people again. And that's why, as the Moonchild, you go through all those places, like emotion, justice, like, you're learning what it takes to be a virtuous person. And so the wizard, who we affectionately refer to as Queen Oldman, in his, like, last-ditch effort to try and save the tower, he gave up his life to put a spell on some child or newborn baby that would, like, make them grow fast, and also if they ever died, they would reappear as a baby. He, like, gave you the ability to respawn and became your sort of spiritual teacher. And he was going to teach you how to become this good person so that Solidor would come back and save the tower. And, yeah, that one good person would become the moon. And, like, the sun and the moon lead humanity to build all those skyscrapers and stuff like they were doing in the beginning. At the end, I mean.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I thought that the dragon was what was making it, like, be stuck in daytime. Like, maybe he was able to, like, freeze time itself or something, just like he can freeze people. But that sounds like something greater than that dragon's capable of. But
yeah, and I
don't know.
The whole Solidor being the sun really made me think, because, like, he wasn't subject to the dragon's will, so that's what made me feel like it was him just staying there the whole time that kept it Sunday.
Yeah, I think in terms of, like, how the day-night cycle works, they mean for us to look at it as, like, ancient people would, that, like, it's not necessarily the sun and moon, like, the earth rotating to see those or whatever, but more that just the moon comes around and it pushes the sun out of the sky, Like, I think we were supposed to kind of view it through the lens of people who, are in, like, a really ancient civilization.
Yeah.
And so the sun's there because the moon's not around. And the fact that we finally showed up is what knocks the sun out of the sky so we can have day and night again.
Mm-hmm. But that was what I got out of it.
Yeah. More than we did. Or more than I did. I can't speak for Bobby.
I don't know. I'm trying to, like, wrap around certain ideas. Mostly is for the dragon's ability to petrify things. That
It was awesome as hell.
It is awesome.
That was cool.
But it's just... It's a unique ability.
Yeah.
Really.
Very cool.
But it's just like, why such a unique ability? Like, just the fact of petrification.
I
Why
think it
not
makes
out-
things creepy. The fact that there's like statue corpses all around the place.
Yeah, it was definitely creepy. Added all sorts of ambiance, and you can see.
I think
like,
if he were just like a typical dragon that burns stuff, like you wouldn't look as creepy. Like the results of his burnination of things.
and the way that it leaves your like statue behind of your past selves.
Hmm
It's like,
I think it's mostly just atmospheric.
Um,
I thought it was great.
do you guys remember exactly the statue? Whenever we first killed the stag. Do you guys remember, like, was that a statue of Solidor?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I expected Solar to be a giant, considering like he was big in the telescope and all the statues of him were huge. But
Yeah.
no, he's just a normal sized guy,
Yeah, it was.
which is fair. I mean, they revere him, so they'll make the statues big. Whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, usually, like, in...
the statue of Jesus in Brazil. Things massive.
Jesus is that size.
I don't know.
He
about
was that. Read the Bible, Colin. Jesus was massive.
and thus.
John 3:16 says Jesus was swole.
But was he also like 30 stories tall?
Yes, he was also 30 stories tall. That was John 3:17.
Oh, okay. John 3:16. Jesus was swole. John 3:17. And massive and 30 stories tall.
Yeah. I thought you said you went to Bible school, Colin.
I did, but man, I must have.
You forgot some details.
Yeah. Where Jesus was a giant monster.
Well, last thoughts then, Colin.
I thought the game was good. I would definitely play it if you enjoy scenery and story-driven games with ambiguous stories like Ico Journey and to a certain degree Dark Souls.
Definitely Ico and Journey.
I would like to see more from, like, this
Mm-hmm.
developmental company.
Yeah.
Just to see...
Developer. I believe.
Yeah, developer. My bad.
The developing.
Yeah.
The develop.
This company which develops things.
This company through whom games come into being, and are then sold for us to enjoy. to
And then
consume.
there's these assholes.
Okay.
Well,
Sorry. Let's not give you a hard time. Go ahead. Last thoughts.
Like I said, I really want to see, like, more from this company because it's... I wasn't really expecting a whole lot from the first 5 minutes of when we were playing,
hmm
but that, like, near the end just, like, it redeemed a whole lot just
Yeah.
from playing this. And
Oh yeah, but also if you're gonna play this game, you have to be okay with some like Kingdom Hearts level of babble about light, darkness, love, and all that.
At least like light and dark. In this sense, he's talking about literal light and darkness
Yeah.
from the sun or
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the lack of sun.
Sometimes.
He's not talking about like darkness. Okay, he does actually say darkness in your heart at one point, but
Yeah.
he mostly isn't talking about darkness in your
Just be
heart.
prepared for some KH bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what their budget was. I'm sure I could probably find out, and I don't know how well the game's selling. Doesn't seem to be super popular, but I'd like to see more people play it. Mainly because I want the game to sell more, and I want these guys to make more stuff. Because like I was saying during the Let's Play, I'm always keen on like new developers starting up, especially in places that aren't like America or Japan, just because, you know, different cultures have a lot of different like story stuff to bring in,
Yeah.
you know, and different art that they grew up seeing. You wouldn't think it translates into like a video game they make as much as it does, but it really does make a difference when people like grow up seeing like a very different style of art and music and
Mhm.
storytelling, and when they come around to actually making the game, it actually affects the aesthetic of that production. So that'd be cool.
So do you guys want to give it a number or? leave it as is?
We don't need a number, but 7. 7 out of 10.
I would actually give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I would.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
I give every game 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
But good story. Graphics could need improving, but for what the graphics they have, their graphics do tell a lot.
Too much water. 7 out of 10.
But some points would have to be deducted for actual graphical glitches and like stuff like that.
I had 1 or 2 points where game-breaking glitches happen, like
And
in that like we got stuck and had to restart the level that one time at the
Yeah.
pit of the stag.
and the modeling wasn't great. But
Yeah.
And several instances where it was very curious, like what we were supposed to do, especially like in the underwater
Yeah.
section, where it took us a while to like progress.
Yeah. Just treat it as an indie. Like, even though it had backing from a government, it still was a new company. It didn't seem to have a huge budget. So it basically is an indie, and like when you look at it through that lens, they did a damn good job.
Yeah.
Congratulations, the entire country of Brazil. You made a very.
It
good
wasn't. It was like 6 people. It was like 6 people calling.
Congrats.
Anyway, that was Toren. Yeah.
Good job, everyone.
Yep.
Well, I guess we'll see you all
Next time on Bit Buddies.
roll the music.